So Growing Together is a project brings people who've experienced a brain injury and other people from the local community to come together to learn about gardening. It uses plants and growing in order to help people think about things beyond gardening, like the effects of illness or injury. So for example, we think about sowing seed and what that means in terms of being hopeful, in terms of investing in things that we don't always know how they're going to pan out. So we use all these aspects of gardening to help us all think about what change and loss is like in our lives.
Better watch out when I'm about.
At Headway, I get the chance to do horticultural therapy, which is gardening to help re-establish skills and abilities that have been hampered by my brain injury. But it's really good for me trying to re-establish some of my mobility skills, like using my hands and arm coordination. So whether it be getting on the ground and planting or just general physical work in the garden. But also it helps my well-being and mentality. I mean, just being outside in the fresh air is good for my well-being. And gardening can be quite mentally stimulating in that in order to be successful in the greenhouse and outside, you need to be looking at the season, what you're going to plant, when you're going to plant it.
So once people have finished the course, we then move on to working in a number of different projects around the county. Community gardens and other settings. And over time actually what's been really striking is that in those settings our clients and volunteers have really educated the other people around them about the values that we've been thinking about on the course. And we support our clients and the volunteers to go out and try the things that we've been learning about on the course, to do with working with nature and the importance of gardening in terms of helping people recover from the effects of illness and injury, which is not just limited to people with brain injury, but is actually pretty much a universal experience. We've all at some point in time suffered injury or illness or loss or had to deal with life-changing events, which we can all find challenging. So our people go into these settings and one of the things they do is help other people around them think about those things as well.
Put a load of compost down. And then once that had settled a bit, we started planting on top of it. Me and my dad went and got scaffolding boards, nailed them together to make walkways for us.
6 of us so-called volunteers and 6 so-called clients, all in the room together, with Simon leading us very well, brilliantly, in different aspects of horticulture. So that was a really wonderful course for me. I mean, I certainly got a tremendous amount out of it, including a lot of confidence about gardening and also learning a lot about people who were trying to live with brain injuries. Yeah, so it was great building relationships, David and myself together, all very, very satisfying. But certainly the course, it helped some of the clients tremendously. They really went on in their lives. So one of them, for example, really has become a gardener in his own village and has a lot of work on with the people around the village, which is absolutely really excellent. So hopefully the Growing Together course will continue and allow more outsiders to experience this world and to be able to bring whatever skills they've got from the outside to help people.
The partnership with Cambridge Headway at the Farmland Museum in Denny Abbey has been hugely beneficial both for us and for David and Andrew. Because we are a farming museum, the story of farm to fork and how our food actually reaches us is absolutely integral to what we do here. It's also improved David and Andrew's confidence, no end. It's really nice to see them joining in, feeling part of the team.
Making new friendships and learning to grow. There is a lot to know about gardening, but it's really good fun once your produce starts to grow. It's given me more confidence in myself.
David and my placement at Denny Abbey goes, I hope it continues for a good while yet.
And really good friends, yeah.
Funding is obviously a very, very important part of what we do here. It's not just the allotment, we have a whole site that needs gardening, so we would love to take on more volunteers and do more of this kind of work.
You know, I'm not a trained therapist or psychiatrist or psychologist, so I can't bring any skills like that to bear in my relationship with the clients. But all I can be is to be there with them. So really it is building on my own skills of compassion. That's really the big thing.
One of the real benefits of the funding that we've had to date is that it's enabled us to run the project for a long period of time. So the courses that we've run have run for 6 months, and then the community placements that we've organised on the back of the courses have run for at least 3 months after that. And what that's enabled us to do is to establish the groups that we've worked with, which in turn has enabled each of the people in those groups to open up to some really difficult and challenging things that if we'd only been together for a short time, they may never have found the courage to start to think about. And I think this in turn has meant that people have come out of the project with more insight and more confidence and a greater capacity to then go on with their lives and make use of the things that we've thought about together.
One of the most effective things to do just for a healthy life, to have a sense of purpose, to be doing something useful, to have a group of friends, to be physically active and work within the environment, and to eat a healthy diet, you know, a vegetable-based diet. And I suppose there isn't anything I know of that will tick all those boxes as well as gardening. I know Simon, who's been running the project, is just extraordinary how he uses gardening and nature and the environment as an analogy for health and well-being.
I started doing the permaculture course at Headway because I wanted to be in a social sort of situation where I got to meet people. I found that working alone a lot of the time, I didn't communicate with people for long durations of time, and going home was quite isolating because I've got family, and I wasn't really meeting up with friends. So the course was an opportunity for me to really be a part of a group. We're now still meeting at this clay farm community garden. We're all good friends, we'll enjoy each other's company.
And it does remove sort of social barriers, because I came in, I had my preconceptions about, you know, what a brain injury was, and I thought, you know, about how I, you know, managed being in a group with people with brain injuries, and actually when you strip that all away, it's just a group of people. Absolutely. You know, it's a really nice, encouraging, warm environment. We're learning loads together. We are a group. You know, we're working together, and you know, I've actually forgotten all about the brain injury part of things. It's just about people, you know, being able to learn and have fun together, and break down that isolation. You know.
Positive all the way, because after my brain hemorrhage, what I've had to do is I have to have things to remember, because otherwise, if you don't have anything to remember, it completely defeats the object. So I've had to learn so many things, and gardening is a blessing because it means you can actually put that knowledge into good use. I've met brain hemorrhage sufferers like myself. I've met accident people. I've met stroke victims. There's a plethora of many different reasons for people being here.
The course really gave me a good insight into all of the permaculture design principles and how it helps build sustainability, and just how it helps with people's general needs. It could be anything. It could be a therapy, a recovery from something, or it could just be a loneliness thing. You know, our lives are complex, and this kind of just made some sense.
I think that it's inevitable that there will be lots of people within the community who would like to come along to gardening for well-being groups. There will be people who are isolated, there will be people who are living in difficult circumstances due to low income or overcrowded housing. Actually, the Headway group have been one of the key kind of groups of gardeners that have been coming here and doing development work.
I do lots of different volunteering work in various places because I'm retired now, but sometimes there are days when I don't actually speak to anybody, and you know, if you've got somewhere where you can go and, you know, drop in, maybe just do some gardening, and when you do the gardening here, people come past and they're far more open to having a conversation if you smile at them, speak to them and so on, and so you tend to build relationships.
There's a lot of reasons why establishing the Headway group here and having that up and running is really good for kind of pulling out disabled people within our community. There will be many, and all those other groups I've just spoken about, and really reaching out to them and saying there is a space here and it's established, and there's space for you within it. Hopefully what we will be doing is spilling out of the edge of the garden into the community, so I'm sure there'll be people who pick up skills here and take them back into their community.
With a garden as well, when you grow things, it really feels positive, just growing something.
There's a lot more to gain from a project than just getting on and doing things.
Anything that gets kind of communities together and working together and building, you know, on that, then removes that isolation, is a really positive factor just for society as a whole.
That's right, well, it's so simple. It fulfills me in terms of living alone now, and not only gives me something to do, but gives me something productive to meet people.
Yeah.
I think some of what the group has gained while they've been working here, they've had a really supportive environment, so they've been able to do things that makes it easy for other people to access the garden and to get out of their house, which is really, really difficult at the beginning. So things like having raised beds for people who aren't able to bend, having accessible toilet on site that they can use, those things have made people feel comfortable here so that they've been able to develop their skills. And as a group, the people who have developed their confidence, I think they're feeling now like they would like to help other people who are maybe at the beginning of their journey or maybe are not in a strong position. So things like helping younger people, helping children maybe going into schools, helping other sites to make their places more accessible so people might be able to come along and work in them and feel more comfortable there as well. They would like to help people who are maybe in the beginning of their journey having had a brain injury. So people who haven't been able to perhaps get out and work in their garden, it's become overgrown and the task just seems too big. A group of our people who are very confident might be able to go and help them to get things back under control and make them feel like they can begin to start afresh and work in their garden again.
None of this work would be possible without funding and support from other organisations. The people that we work with deserve to be able to garden together and learn together, and deserve an opportunity to go out into the community and practice what they've been learning and engage with other people and share their insights.
I don't feel as hopeless. I keep looking at jobs, there's nothing I can do, but actually since I've been coming here, there are jobs that I know that I will be useful.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? It's not just about growing stuff, it's about the whole way the world works and communities and the way we can work together. The total is greater than the sum of the parts.
It's just a great chance to learn and practice skills that hopefully I'll be able to use one day in somewhere like the workplace, and so yeah.
I would be plodding along, kind of just aimlessly, you know, I feel like just going to work, going home, routine, you know, barely cracking a smile most of the time, a lot of the time, but this is definitely, you know, it's just put a smile on my face.
It's been a long process of getting up to this stage, you know, after a brain hemorrhage, but gardening, it makes so much more of a difference because you can actually see the fruits of your labour.